Hey, this is Cam.
Hey, it's Chuck the Iceman Liddell.
This is Emmett Smith, and you're listening to 3-Point Conversion.
What up, what up, what up? It's your man, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? Yes, I am doing this solo today or tonight or whatever time it is you're looking at this or listening to this. Very excited, man. I hadn't done this in a long time, man. But shout out to my guy, Rue. Rue's been out, of course, but Rue got some great news. We're gonna let him come on and I'm gonna let him say that himself and say what's going on or whatever. But either or, man, how's everybody doing, man? I'm doing great. Excited, man. Again, like I always say, this is the best time of the year. Kind of getting sad because football is ending and we don't want that. But either or, man, we got the NFL getting heated for the playoffs. We're heading towards the college football playoffs. We got NBA finally getting cranked up. I guess it's different now because you had the tournament, whatever. So, we're talking about the NBA more, which it worked, but we'll get on that later on and so on. But, man, it's so much to get into, man. We're going to get it started. First off, great show, man. We have to talk about the Draymond Green situation. What's going on with that? How do I feel? I want to know how you all feel too. But I'm about to go in. You know how we do. We tell the truth and shame the devil. It's crazy. So we're going to talk about that. Also, man, with college football, no games, but this transfer portal is like going crazy. I mean, Colorado Buffaloes are taking advantage of it. Now, in particular, you got the Notre Dame Irish, right? Yeah, Notre Dame Irish. I was about to say Irishman. I'm tripping. And also Wisconsin Badgers. They took advantage of it. And this might really help them out, man, as far as national title. Like for real. Like this is a big move. Also, man, what's on my mind, you all? I have to talk about Justin Fields. So we've been hearing all of this chatter about he should get traded, should he stay, what have you. I really gotta voice my opinion, or should I say voice the truth. But I have to go ahead and say what I say and say how I feel, man. So I'm have that segment on what's on my mind. Also, I'm gonna talk about Shohei Ohtani, that contract. I don't know, man. I just feel like the Dodgers, as great as he is, they might regret that. This is how I feel. I mean, this is how I feel. Also, man, we talking more NFL. We got to talk about this Tyreek Hill injury, but not just the injury, the fact that he really has a chance to get 2,000 yards receiving. But now with this injury, does that put him in jeopardy? But not only that, if you look at his schedule, he has a tough schedule coming up. And I'm saying tough as far as going up against these defenses, because these defenses are playing elite football right now. So all 4 teams. So we got to talk about that. Then in NBA, man. So look, who's the best player in the NBA right now? We got Luka, you got Embiid, of course you have Joker. Shea Gildress has entered this conversation now. It's so many people or so many players. I shouldn't say so many players, but it's more players than you usually would have. Usually it's always number one, Joker. But you look at these players right now, how they're playing. I mean, some want to say Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, hey, so we're gonna get into that. And then we got Dr. Fowler coming in. Look, fantasy football. I don't have Vincent the Fantasy Guru. He's not here today, but yes, still we know fantasy football is coming up. So we got to have Dr. Fowler answer some questions about who should you play. Will this player be available? You don't want to miss that. And then we got our picks for the week. So it's time for the quick hits. Let's get it. First off, the NFL owners has unanimously voted for the 2027 Super Bowl to be in Los Angeles once again. Now, remember, it was just there in 2021. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of confused on, I get it. It's SoFi Stadium. It's LA. I don't understand why they want to have the Super Bowl there. I mean, you got all of these cities. Why not do Atlanta again? I thought Atlanta was great when the Super Bowl was here. Yes, they had the bad weather, but it turned out better, throughout the week. Why not have it here? I'm trying to think other places. I know you don't want to do Minnesota again because Minnesota was too cold. So why would we do Minnesota? But as a matter of fact, speaking of the cold, I sort of like when they played at MetLife Stadium, or was it Giant Stadium then? Either or. I like MetLife Stadium in New York when it was cold. I mean, you had the elements. It was football. Why not do that again, man? You got a couple of places. I mean, of course, you probably wouldn't want to go to like Chicago or Green Bay, but there's some nice other cities that you can go to, man, that I think it would be good. I mean, again, Los Angeles is great. I like Los Angeles, but it was just there 3 years ago. Like, why do that? What's going on, Mike Patton? Mike, I hear you, baby. Mike said Nashville 2028, they have that new stadium coming up. So, hey, Mike, I agree with you, sir. But, yeah, they voted on Los Angeles. Again, I'm just like, okay, we was there. There's other cities, man, that you can choose from. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this. Since they want to have all these games, well, before I say that, let me say this next quick hit. Speaking of that, in 2024, the NFL will have a game in Brazil. If y'all gonna do this, we might as well have the Super Bowl in Mexico. I just came back from Mexico. Mexico is beautiful, especially it was 85 degrees. It was, sunny. It was just a great atmosphere. Why not move the Super Bowl to Mexico? Why not? I mean, it's what, not too, maybe an hour away from Los Angeles. Why not? I mean, if y'all want to, I'm just tired of the same places. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other stadiums. It's okay to play in the cold. There's other warm stadiums. Just do it over again. Let's do somewhere else. That's all I'm saying. But either or, they're having a game in Brazil. Do I think they're taking it too far? Not necessarily, but at the same time, this is how I feel. I know the players, and I agree with Mike. Mike said, I want to go to Brazil and cover that game. Might not come back, but I'll cover it anyway. Right. I feel you. I get it, Mike. I want to go to Brazil too. I do. But my whole point is, you look at the players. I know the players love the experience of going overseas, going to places they've never been before. I get that. All of that. But if that's a home game for my team, if I'm the Buffalo Bills and that's my home game, it sucks because you're losing the home field advantage. I don't like that. Aaron says, as you see, he's okay with regular season games overseas, but the Super Bowl, hey, I'm just saying, man, let's be creative. I'm really being sarcastic, but my whole point is, I understand the experience. I understand we're trying to make it grow, but why not have preseason games like we used to? Remember, we used to have preseason games in China. I think it was in Mexico before as well, but why do a regular season game when you're taking away a home field advantage game from a team? I don't think that's right. And if I was the owner, I would be mad, especially if we lose. I mean, I'm wondering, I don't know for sure, but I have to find out if they're getting paid for this, but I just I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's dope, it's cool, growing the game, but we can do that in the preseason. I mean, them jokers don't have football out there anyway, so they don't mind if it's preseason, postseason, whatever, as long as they have a game. So my point is, you're taking away home games from teams. I don't think that's cool. So I don't like it. I disagree with it, but that's where it's going to be in 2024. So we'll see what happens. Moving on, it has been reported that the Golden State Warriors offered Klay Thompson a 2-year deal worth $48 million of them things, and Klay turned it down. It's also been reported, I don't know how true this is, that they talks a star, they pull that offer from the table. And Klay said himself, he's like, I'm not playing well, so I don't deserve it. But you don't want to end up. It's a certain player that plays with, I think, the Toronto Raptors, and he was with the Lakers, and he had a deal worth, Mike, I know you know, what was it worth? $84 million, something like that. I think it might have been over 100 million. And I think his last name is Schroeder, something like that. Either or, this joker had to end up settling for like a 1-year deal worth $585,000 in NBA Frisbee. Like, Klay, I get you betting on yourself, bruh. You hadn't been the same since your ankle. Just play, dog. Just play. That's all I'm saying. Just play. Mike says, thanks, Mike. 4 years, $84 million. I think, yeah, it was Dennis Schroeder, but come on, man. Just take the money, dog. You good. Just take the money. Because I would have took that money quick. Mike said the same thing. I would have took that for the rest of the season just to watch the cool. Exactly. And I understand you betting on yourself, but my thing is he hadn't been the same since. And look how the season is starting off now. The good thing is you have, 60 something, 50 something, some odd games left. I mean, maybe you can make up for it, but I just don't understand how you turn it down, man. You know what I'm saying? And right. And next thing you know, that was Schroeder, right? 1 year for $9 million. That's what he had in Boston after he turned that deal down. You don't want to do that, bro. Come on now. You don't want to do that, Klay. So I like you trying to be real with yourself, but at the same time, let's be real with ourselves and take that money, though. I know you made quite a few dollars in your career, but take that. That's all I'm saying. And then last but not least, this is about to be funny, y'all. The Chicago Bulls will have a ring of honor in the arena, and Jordan and Pippen are among the honorees. This is on January 12th. Do you think both players will show up? If I'm Jordan, I'm going to be petty and show up. I was going to say no, but I'm going to be petty and show up. Might get real petty and invite Larsa, about to be Larsa Jordan now, but invite her and Kiddo, man, to the game and just to be there, if Pippen don't apologize or anything like that. But Pippen probably won't show up. You know what I'm saying? Pippen said too much to show up. You know what I'm saying? He's been running his mouth. I don't care what he say. It's like people on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You could do all this. You can say all this. You can even talk on a mic like I am. But we all know it's still Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan has that type of aura where you don't want to cross him. You don't want to cross him at all. So it's like now Pippen's foot is in his mouth because you look weak if you don't show up. Now you look like you're scared. So whether you show up or not, you already lost. You know what I'm saying? You lost already. I agree. Mike Pippen could be petty and show up with Mike's ex-wife, but she not doing that because she ain't trying to. She knows she's still probably getting money, not just from the settlement, but Mike probably breaking her off something, as far as money. You know what I'm saying? So she not doing that. She not about to get into that. Then he embarrassed himself again to try to do that, and she talk about knowing, get online or get on the news and say, "Hey, Pippen try to offer me some money to come up." So Pippen, you messed up already, dog. You might as well show up, be a man, face Mike, and just, you ain't got to say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? But like, as Kevin Garnett always says, how you just, that's what you feel. You feel that fan of Mike's, and Pippen don't want to feel that. So Pippen, well, if I was Mike, I'm showing up. I'm showing up just to see what's going to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to show up to the Chicago Bulls. Like, everybody's going to be there. Robin's going to be there. And, so Bill Winnington probably going to be there. So I'm just saying, Pippen, you stuck your foot in your mouth. Show up, man. We'll see. That's just, I think it's going to be funny. Like, if it's anything I'm tuning in for the Chicago Bulls, if I haven't or if you haven't, this is what you want to tune in for, to see what happens. Like, ESPN might have this on there, so we'll see. Yeah, Mike says Pippen already embarrassed himself with the dye in his head still, right? Trying to grow braids. You 59 years, I'm sorry, 63 years old or something like that, and you tripping. But anyway, man, that wraps up quick hits. Take a quick break, and we're going to be right back, man, and get into this Draymond Green situation, y'all. We'll be right back.
My name is George Iceman Gervin.
This is Dylan Brooks. What's up? This is Vince Carter. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion. Check it out.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Mr. Controversy here. And y'all been under a rock. Y'all hadn't seen what happened. So Draymond Green, once again, is in the news, got in trouble with the league. He, just to describe it, he was Yusuf Nurkic, he was holding him. He was trying to cut across. He was trying to cut across the free throw line, trying to cut across, and Yusuf had the back of him holding him. So Draymond trying to sell the foul. You know how he does. He flails his arm, but when he flails his arm, he almost did a Ron Artest, and he didn't elbow him, but he came across, hit him. It was an open hand, but hit him straight in the chin, cheek, whatever. Nurkic, that's a big joker. It hit him hard, but, Joker fell down like he got slapped by his mama or somebody. Was on the ground, not Joker, but Yusuf, like he was on the ground. He was on the ground for a while, and he got tossed out, right? Rightfully so. I mean, that's the letter of the law. You can't hit nobody. They call it a flagrant 2. He got tossed out. Draymond came back after the game and post game, and shout out to my guy Damian Adams. He was there, right there, front and center with the camera, and I watched his video first, so we can give him credit. But Draymond, his post games, apologized to Yusuf and said, "Hey, I didn't mean to hit him. It was an accident. I apologize," which he never does. He said, "Y'all know how I am. I stand on what I do," but he said, "But this was an accident. It wasn't intentional. I didn't try to hit him. I was trying to sell the foul, and I apologize." So Draymond Green said he was trying out for AEW. He just went too far. So, all right, y'all. This is how I feel about this. I believe him. I don't think he tried to hit him. The only reason why I say that was, if you watch the game, it was nothing unless Nurkic whispered something in his ear or something, but it was nothing that Nurkic did to warrant that. Now, we know that we've seen Draymond, of course, when he choked Rudy Gobert out, he had it out for him. When was it LeBron he kicked in the nuts? I think it was LeBron he kicked in the nuts, right? But LeBron, he kicked in the nuts. What else he do? I'm missing something. And it was recently. Of course, when he punched, what was it? What was it, Mike? What else did he do? But of course, when he punched Jordan Poole, but that didn't count. I mean, that was definitely intentional. But for the most part, he's been, in this type of situation continuously throughout his career. Like, especially he did it back when he kicked LeBron, but especially like the last 2 years. The foul on who was it against? On Memphis, when they was playing Memphis in the playoffs 2 years ago. So I don't think this was intentional, but he's crossed that threshold of the Dennis Rodman threshold. And what I mean by that is, if it was one player that no matter what he did, if it looked like he did something wrong, even if it wasn't intentional, but if it looked, he was getting ejected or technical. That's where Draymond is as far as ejections right now. So if you know this, you got to be careful. And I believe Draymond is smart enough to know I can't get myself in a situation where I'm not playing for my team. I mean, I believe he's smart enough to know that. But at the same time, even if you're smart enough to know that, you got to know you can't even get close now. And if he doesn't know, he knows now, because when he get this suspension, he's going to feel it. But he did kick Steven Adams in the nuts as well. That's right. And he stepped on Sabonis in Sacramento. Exactly. So my point is, he should know he has to be careful. And because of that, that's why I feel like I don't think Draymond intentionally did this. But at the same time, like I said, he's crossed that threshold. Now he's with a Dennis Rodman and a Rasheed Wallace. When Rasheed was getting the tech, no matter if he looked at the ref wrong, like we saw, he was getting the tech. That's what I'm saying. Like, you at that point now, if it looks like or smells like you're doing something wrong, you're getting ejected or you're getting in trouble, whatever it is. That's where he is. So, yes, he should get suspended. I agree. But I don't think he intentionally did it, man. I mean, I don't. It was no reason for him to do that. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Like, when he stepped on Sabonis, that was the playoffs. Intimidation. And this is before he was getting ejected and stuff like that. That I could see that. But this, I don't think so. I just don't. Mike, yeah, you're right, man. Can't help it. That's who he is, man. And that's where he's headed. He's at that point right now. And I just wonder what Steve Kerr is saying to him, the players, because at this point, you can see they're kind of like, all right, bro, this is you about to be out again, and we all know he's the soul of the team. You know, he does more than just talk mess or get on the ref's nerves, or even make passes. The defense, setting the screens, even just running the team, even on the bench, coaching the young players. You're not going to have that. Again, I always say Steph is that guy. Steph turned himself to a leader now, but he's not that vocal leader like a Draymond Green. You know, so I just feel like he messed up. He messed up, and he's at that point now. No matter what he does, it's a wrap. But I also want to say this, though. This is what disturbed me the most about this. And Mike, I know Mike, I can hear Mike saying, get off my lawn. This is no get off my lawn. This is just real. Because this is, it doesn't even stop with just sports. This is family. It's your best friends. It's if you are with my crew, if like the 3-point conversion, if we had a 3-point conversion and somebody get into it or somebody slap one of my players, one of the reporters or whatever, if they slap me, I expect, and I will for somebody else, we riding down with him, we or her. We're gonna make sure that we gonna be there. We ain't gonna let nobody mess with you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. No one stepped an inch towards Draymond Green when that happened. No one. All you saw was Booker talking about toss, doing that. But this dude just slapped your player. Y'all don't know what happened. Now, Nurkic could be doing the D-Voc and faking, but he hit him hard. And no one even stepped to him, got in his face or anything. That's weak. That is weak. That disturbed my spirit. I didn't like it. I thought it was punkish. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was in Phoenix. So you let him come in your house, do something like that, intentional or not, but you know this man's reputation. And like we've seen Booker try to get in Joker's face or wolfing at somebody else. Now I wonder if Durant was playing, what Durant would have done. I wonder if Durant would have stepped up, and it was in Phoenix. I wonder if Durant would have stepped up and he would have said something, or he would have gotten, even though they boys, but got in Draymond's face or whatever. But you just don't stand there and watch. They just all of them looking at Nurkic while he on the ground. On the floor, I should say. But come on, man. I know this is not 1993. But that rule or that law is timeless. I tell my family that. I tell my daughters that. Of course, my son, my nieces and nephews. Oh, you don't let nobody ride on your people like that or do anything. You got to step up. Even if you could have faked it, just get in his face. Everybody going to grab you. Now, it could have been that they were scared because of what Draymond has done, especially the way he knocked Jordan Poole out. So maybe it was that, but still. Mike says the thing I was thinking was a little different. I was thinking Draymond picks and chooses who he goes after because he knows he can get away with it. I can see that. But Draymond is not backing down from no one. I'll say that. You're right. I feel like that. That was Kevin Garnett. It was mind games too. Again, I don't think this was intentional, but let's say if it was mind games. That's what KG did. KG picked on a person or that team because he knew no one was going to do anything, which it probably would break their spirits. I get that. Nothing wrong with that. But still, even if that's the case, that lets me further know you are weak if you don't step up to him. If you don't have your brother's back. If I was Nurkic, man, I would have cussed everybody out when we got in the locker room. Like, bro, y'all just gonna stand over me? Now Nurkic had to sell it, but you still get in this guy's face, man. That's all I'm saying. You get in his face. Draymond said, yeah, you want him to see him do that with Grant Williams, Mike? You're right. Grant is not backing down. And I think they have got into it. They got into it in the finals. But that's my point. He didn't back down. That's all I'm saying. So, Mike, I know you responding. If anybody else looking, y'all tell me how many games you think he's getting. I think he's getting 15. I think they're about to make really not even make an example because it's too late. But it's one of those things like, look, we're not playing. And the word is quoted by Woj is the fact that it's up above Dumar now. Dumar is Adam Silver's about to he's about to say something. So I think it's 15. Mike says it's 10 to 15. I think it's 15. And it might even be more because he just got 5, 2-3 weeks ago? And now this happens? Nah, I think he's getting 15, man. So, like I said, I'm interested to see what happens. Like I said, I want to be a fly on the wall or want it to be in the locker room or whenever Kerr talks to Draymond or the team, or if they have a team meeting, because you can't do this. Again, I believe they feel like I didn't see Steph's. I should have watched it. I hadn't seen Steph or what he said, but I know they're tired of it. But at the same time, they know in a sense what comes along with Draymond, but you shouldn't be getting kicked out of games. That's all I'm saying. You shouldn't be getting kicked out of games and hurting your team. The team already struggling already, and then this happens. So we'll see. Mike says the best suspension he can get is to be regulated to playing in the G League or China for the rest of the season. Nah, that's kind of messed up. I mean, now you really treating him like he the bad child. You know how you have your nephew or niece come over and then you wait for them to do. That's what it is. Like the bad one, that bad one. So as soon as they come over, the first thing he or she does, get in there. They already in trouble. You're like, dang, I was just trying to pick up the piece of paper and give it to you, but that's what it is right now. And he put himself in that situation. So we'll see. Let's move on, man, to let's transition to just transfer portal. All right. I think it's about to be a change in it. First of all, just honestly, and Mr. Controversy is back, but just because of Dion, just because Coach Prime, what they doing there, they already beefed up their offensive line through the portal. But I think just because of that, if they become successful, and then you're going to hear other coaches complain, and then they're going to change it. But it's just too much right now. But the news was who was it? Tyler Van Dyke. The quarterback of the Miami Hurricanes, or a former quarterback of the Hurricanes, he's transferring to Wisconsin. Then you have Riley Leonard going, Duke's quarterback. Before he got hurt, he was balling. He's going to Notre Dame. I really believe that. Like, okay, so what we've seen before, we've seen we've seen Jalen, when Jalen went to Oklahoma, big thing. They got, didn't they get to I think they got to the playoffs, right? They got to the playoffs. Of course, Caleb Williams, and you've seen others, but I don't think we've seen two big deals like this at the same time. And I'm not saying Riley Leonard is not a big name, but if you know college football, this is a big deal to go to Notre Dame. I know Sam Hartman went last year from Wake Forest, but but I really think, let's start with Miami. Tyler Van Dyke, I think Tyler Van Dyke puts Wisconsin for a contender for the Big Ten. You know why I say that? When is the last time Wisconsin had a quarterback? Yeah, I'm not even saying Van Dyke is top 5. I mean, he might be next year, with everybody leaving, but He can play. But again, when has Wisconsin had a decent quarterback? You know they're gonna have them big corn-fed jokers on the line. They're gonna have a good running back. And we don't even know if their wide receivers are good because they don't have a quarterback to throw to them. So now that you have this quarterback in the Big Ten, which the Big Ten is about to be crazy next year, I think they can be a contender in the Big Ten. Mike says he doesn't think so. They run a spread offense, and he is accident prone in terms of interceptions. You're right, but they've had that already. What they don't have, Mike, is let me put it up so they can see. What they don't have is the fact that he also, yet still, can get you touchdowns too. They hadn't had that. All they had was somebody to not mess up too bad or throw interceptions, and when they get in the bind, they can't come back. He's better than that. He's better than all the quarterbacks. He's the best quarterback they had since Russell Wilson, I believe. I can't think of no other quarterback. That's how bad it is. I hate this, but Wisconsin is worse than the Chicago Bears when it comes to quarterbacks. Sorry, Aaron, Mike, or whoever, Mike, or TJ Bentley, whoever was watching. I apologize. That's how bad Wisconsin's been with quarterbacks. So, hey, I'm just being real. That's my team. It hurts, the Bears, but I'm just being real. That's what it is. So we'll see. And then, of course, the big one with Riley Leonard going to Notre Dame. I mean, you had Sam Hartman, but they had a tough schedule. I don't think it fit. But this might be the guy that they're looking for. I mean, they've been looking for a quarterback for a long time as well. I mean, their quarterback's been decent, pretty good, but Riley Leonard is very good. And this might be it. This might be the piece that they need to get back in that range of top 10 teams in college, So I think so. Aaron says, no, they can't be that bad. No one can be that bad. Talking about the Bears. Yeah, dog. They're that bad. But yeah, man. So I think I think that these are two good moves in the portal. You got a lot of other great moves, but I'm just saying, looking at the name recognition, Mike says Notre Dame needs to try Jesus, and so does Wisconsin. Yep, you're right. But again, so like I said, I think that this is good for college, but at the same time, I think the transfer portal is getting out of hand. I don't think they intended it to be this bad to where that's all you see is just, okay, this is not working. Let me go here. I mean, if coaches can do it, so should the players. But I don't like the fact that coaches quit on them. And I don't think that ADs or whatever should say, I mean, because they can fire you at any time anyway. I mean, I understand if you're not doing your job, we let you go. Correct. But it's not like the NFL where they just letting mugs go because we don't want him. Let's go with somebody. It's not like that in college, so I just don't like it. And I think it should change, man. I don't, and I hope it does. I hope they put a restriction on it or something. I don't know if they got to say you got to do it within the first year or you got to play 3 years. I don't know, but I'm getting tired of it personally. So, but look, we're about to take another quick break, man. And don't go anywhere, y'all, because this is a lot of people have been waiting for this, and I've been waiting for this. So, Aaron, you need to share this on any Bears station, any Bears fans watching. Share this because I want them to hear this, especially all the people that hate us and all that. I should have worn my Bears cap, but I'm feeling militant right now, so I got the X hat on. But we're gonna take a quick break, man. I'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kyle Brandt. You might know me from Good Morning Football or maybe early 2000s Days of Our Lives, and you right now are enjoying the 3-point conversion radio. You're watching, you're listening, you're loving. I love these people. They're dynamite. 3-point conversion radio. Get it.
All right, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. And before I go on this tangent, Mike says I love it. In some senses, it holds coaches accountable for some bull honky that he said saying to sell you on a university. No, I agree. Some of it I get. It makes sense. But at the same time, people are abusing it because you're not playing well. Like, I don't know if the kid from Colorado, the cornerback, or is it the cornerback, I believe, if he left. I don't know if he entered the transfer portal or not. But Deion didn't play him because he wasn't doing what he's supposed to do in school. And in practice, he wasn't studying. So, no, you don't play. So now you're mad. Oh, let me go somewhere else. That's not how it's supposed to work. That's the part I don't agree with. But anyway, this next segment is called What's on My Mind. And this is where I get to go on a tangent. Or not even a tangent. It might be something I'm thinking about, something I don't understand, or it's not making sense to me. Maybe I'm mad. I don't like it. It's just, I got some on my chest, man. Let me just some off my chest. And this is what it is. So here we go. You know what, y'all? I'm going to go old school with this, man. I'm going to go old school with this. I got a vibe to this. So, all right. So here we go. It's been a lot of media, NFL fans, football fans, who else? Bears fans, which is what really kills me. But everybody had their say-so on Justin Fields. I get it. I understand it. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It does. But to say that this man should be traded for other picks, and I understand if you're saying he should be traded for other picks because he's not, he's not being used right. I get that. But to say that he should be traded because he's not good, to be let go because he sucks, he's not an NFL quarterback, I don't agree with, right? And it's not true. So first, and this is for Justin Fields. Let me read the stat. So with Justin Fields, so these quarterbacks, I'm gonna talk about 4 quarterbacks, right? You have, and he's been out, but this is the last 17 games, right? So all these quarterbacks played last 17 games. You have Justin Herbert, you have Joe Burrow, and you have Trevor Lawrence, right? And y'all should have, I don't know if y'all saw this yet, but I'm just speaking on it. Justin Herbert, 7-10. This last 17 games, he's 7-10. Went to the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence, 11-6, went to the playoffs. Joe Burrow, 11-6, AFC title game. Justin Fields, 3-14 record, right? Justin Herbert, 4,127 yards passing. Trevor Lawrence, 4,130 yards passing. Joe Burrow, 4,059 yards passing. Justin Fields, 3,004 yards passing. 25 touchdowns for Justin Fields in the last 17 games. 29 touchdowns for Joe Burrow the last 17 games. 23 touchdowns for Trevor Lawrence the last 17. And then 25 for Justin Herbert. Only one that has more is Burrow, which you expect, right? 11 interceptions for Fields, 12 interceptions for Burrow, 16 interceptions for Trevor, 8 interceptions for Justin Herbert, right? Passer rating, 92.3 for Justin Fields, 91.3 for Joe Burrow, 88 passer rating for Trevor Lawrence, 94 for Justin Herbert, 94.3. Rushing yards, 1,237 rushing yards for Justin Fields. I don't see anything else for Burrow. They don't have their stats. Trevor Lawrence has 4 rushing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns for Justin Herbert. No, I don't see none for Joe Burrow, and 8 rushing touchdowns for Justin Fields, which means he has a total of 33 touchdowns, right? I don't see how he's not worth staying with the Bears, or he's not worth keeping. Last year, they blew the team up. He had no one to throw to. This year, we know he has DJ Moore. Komet is playing well. He has a better offensive line. He's playing well. And I understand he holds the ball long sometimes. And I think his worst attribute is the fact that, or he needs to get better at, I'll say, is the fact that anticipating wide receivers or the players, whoever it is, getting open. I get it. But now let's focus on the team. Why would you trade him and get another quarterback that you're not sure of, that we don't know how good they're going to be, if they're going to fit the system? Then stick with this quarterback where you see progress, not just with him, but with this team. Right now, the Bears are a top 5 defense the last 4 games with Montez Sweat. Top 5 defense. I think they're leading in these 4 games, leading the league in turnovers as well, I believe. Last 9 games, after the Bears started 1-3, they're off 0-3. The Bears are 5-4. They beat a good Detroit team. They should have beat a good Detroit team the first week they played when Justin Fields came back. And if they run this table and win the last 4 games, they'll be 9-8. Would you still stand on the fact that they should let go of Justin Fields? And if so, why? I read the stats. We see what they're doing. And honestly, this is reminiscent of the Detroit Lions of last year. How everybody was saying Dan Campbell don't know what he's doing. He's this, he's a joke. And next thing you know, they went on this run. This is very reminiscent of Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. I'm even to go so further to say, as much as I was saying maybe the coach should leave, I don't know if we get rid of Eberflus. Because now the team plays hard. They're playing for him. Everybody's healthy. And then think about this. Most teams will pack it up. They're not. He's still coaching. Montez Sweat said it after last week's game. He said when we're in Washington, the coaches, they were kind of like, at this point, like, all right, let's just get through the season so we can be done with and, go on our vacation because there's nothing to play for. But Eberflus is still coaching hard. He wants to do this. And Aaron says get rid of Getsy. I'm not gonna lie, Aaron. I'm almost kind of like, should we? I mean, I'm still on that train, but the offense has been playing better. All I'm saying is, do we want to, if we went out, do we want to change this so-called wrinkle we have right now and create a new wrinkle where we have to learn again, which it could be best for the team, which, hey, but, or do we want to stick with what we're doing? We see what Detroit is doing. I'm just saying. So everybody who's saying they should get rid of Fields, just look at the numbers. The numbers are right there, man. He don't have all these playmakers like a Trevor Lawrence, a Joe Burrow, a Justin Herbert. He doesn't have that. That's all I'm saying. Then I want to talk about Shohei Ohtani getting this deal for $700 million. I'm happy for him. I'm not hating on him. But I wonder if the Dodgers will regret this deal. Because this is not football. He didn't sign a $700 million deal and you're like, excuse me, you're not like, okay, well, he's not playing well, so we're going to cut him after. No, he's stuck with y'all. We've seen this guy in his career in 2 years where he didn't finish pitching. But now, he can do it all. He's a top 10, if not top 5 pitcher. And then we already know what he does with the bat. But how long will he be able to go with this? And if he can't go and pitch, is he still worth $700 million? I understand you wanted him. I understand you needed him. I hate to say this, but it kind of reminds me of what's going on in Cleveland. You gave him this money, guaranteed. You wanted him. And the difference is I'm not mad at Cleveland because with Cleveland, you have been losing all of these years. So, yes, it makes sense to, hey, man, we're going to put all our money in this one basket and go with it. I get that. But Dodgers, you came off a World Series not too long ago. You've been a dominant team. So all I'm saying is if he can't do both, is he still worth $700 million? And if the answer is no, then it's possible that very possible that the LA Dodgers will be kicking themselves after this, I say in about 2 or 3 years. He still might get you 50 home runs, but this joker going to play. He's going to be a DH more than likely. I don't know. I just don't know. So, but hey, that's what's on my mind. That's what I'm thinking about. And we'll see, man. But again, pay attention to them Bears, y'all. I'm serious. Pay attention to them Bears. Pay attention to them Bears. All right, y'all. I'm going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back for the Stop It segment. Y'all don't go anywhere.
It's Kalen DeLoach, linebacker.
This is Tyler Van Dyke. I play quarterback for the University of Miami.
What's going on?
It's Kalen DeLoach, linebacker.
This is Tyler Van Dyke. I play quarterback for the University of Miami.
What's going on? This is Shador Sanders. You're here listening to the 3-point conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. And it is now time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it. So my Stop It goes to Ben Roethlisberger. You say, why? Ben Roethlisberger. This joker hadn't played since forever. Well, Big Ben came out and said today that he feels like the Pittsburgh Steelers mystique or tradition is done with. That's what he said. He said it's done with. It's a wrap. There's nothing, it might be done. Now you might say I agree. This is why he gets to stop it. Negro, well, he ain't no Negro, but Negro, I can't say the other thing. It might be because of you. That's the reason why. Like, you started it. You was the one. When you left, it was a wrap. When you was horrible, it was a wrap. You stopped it. So come on, man. I know you're not with the team. I know, or should I say Ninja? I'll say that. Okay, Ninja. But you're not with the team. And I get it. They do look horrible. But you started that trend, Big Ben. You was looking awful. Now, of course, the organization, they could have let you go, but they was saying, hey, this is Big Ben. He paid his dues. We're going to ride with him. But you were horrible, bro. You were horrible. So, come on, Big Ben. Chill with that, man. Chill with that. Now, I want to stick with the NFL, and this is not to stop. I want to stick with the NFL, and I want to talk about this. Dallas Cowboys right now, they're getting hot at the right time, y'all. We saw what they did to the Eagles. And let's give it up for Dak right now, because I didn't laugh. I agree with him, but everybody laughed at Dak when he came out in preseason and said, I will not have more than 10 interceptions this season. Everybody, Cocky, you should give him to stop it. He tripping, whatever. 4 more games, though. How many interceptions Dak has right now? 6. That's it. 6 games. 6 interceptions, 6 interceptions. Is it 26 touchdowns right now? I know he's leading the league in touchdowns. But MVP level, right? He's balling. I believe they got hot at the right time, not just because they're getting hot. Sometimes you don't want your team to burn out before the playoffs. But the reason why I say they're getting hot at the right time is because their schedule is about to be brutal. Kyle, hold on. Kyle says 6 in 4 games and a lot, but Kellen Moore leaving was a factor there. You're right. And I agree with you, but at the same time, if he had 6 games 6 interceptions in 13 games, the likelihood of not, that's not true, because like you said, you can have a bad game no matter what. So I kind of agree with you, Kyle, but I like what you said. Kellen Moore leaving was a factor there. Wow. That could be. That's a great point, Kyle. But right now, Dallas, they go to Buffalo next week, right? And I think right now they're I don't know if they're ahead of the division. They're tied with the Eagles, so we'll just give them that. But their next games are the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. And go to Miami Christmas Eve to play the Dolphins. They have the Detroit Lions, and then, of course, the Washington Commanders. But that's a rivalry game, so you never know. Washington will always try to play spoiler when it comes to that, right? You want to be hot facing these teams right now because you want to have all the confidence in the world right now. But Dallas look kind of scary right now. Now I believe the Eagles will come back. They'll get it together. They'll come back and play hard. But Dallas right now, the defense is playing great. Dan Quinn has that defense looking spectacular. And then the offense right now is clicking on all cylinders. So I mean, everybody want to clown the Dallas Cowboys, but if you were clowning them before, you have to give them their props. Have to give them their props. Kyle says, but after the Eagles play Seattle, there's a far easier road. And no, you're right. That's why I think the Eagles will win the division because they have an easy road. Don't count on DeVito, but they have an easy road. But I'm just saying, even if the Cowboys go 2-2, I really think, believe it or not, I think they can beat Miami, definitely beat Detroit and Dallas. The tough one is playing against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, so we'll see. But definitely got it. Like I said, we got to give our props to Dallas. And then, man, it's unfortunate what happened to Tyreek Hill on Monday night. Still, the fact that he was able to come back and play, he's built differently. That's how Tyreek is. He's built differently. I knew he was gonna get up. I was watching it live while we were at the Hawks game. We had on our phones, but with media, first thing I said, oh, he's coming back. He's coming back. You know what I'm saying? He's coming back. Yeah, Kyle, Cowboys need to win a playoff game against the Niners. I'm not saying that now, but I'm just saying they who knows? They might be meeting up in the NFC Championship. But yeah, Tyreek, like I said, so he said he wanted to get 2,000 yards, right? Tyreek has 1,542 yards, 1,542 yards receiving, 12 TDs with 4 games to go. The problem is, can he play? Will he be able to play? He said his ankle tightened up. He came in the game because his wife told him to. Still was able to get like a few more yards, but he wasn't himself. But if he plays, does he get the 2,000? Now, Kyle says he's the front runner MVP. Kyle, you stole my thunder. That's where I'm headed to. Because if he gets his 2,000, he has to be. But can he get this 2,000? Look, his remaining schedule is the Jets, great defense, right? Even if he is healthy, Jets defense is spectacular. The Cowboys. Now, my thing is, as great as their defense is, if they get pressure on Tua, then yeah, it's going to look bad. But the way Tua gets the ball out, we'll see. Because I don't think Stephon Gilmore, as good as he is, he can't keep up with Tyreek. So, and then the fact that you really can't double Tyreek because you have Devin Achane and then you have Mostert. So you can't really double him because the putting them in motion and all of that. I don't think so. But then you have the Baltimore Ravens. Their defense is they haven't been playing as well as of late, but still they got a great defense. But their secondary is kind of breaking down. I could see him going for 100 and something points. 100 and some yards in that game. And then he has then they have the Buffalo Bills, which they've been playing a lot better. Can he get it? Can he get it? I don't know. Kyle says, does the Hill injury versus the Titan demonstrate that he's that candidate? Only reason why I say no, Kyle, is the simple fact that you have Draymond Green. You have Dak Prescott coming in. And with Dak Prescott coming in and playing the way he's playing, if he continues to play well, then he will be the front runner. Because if Tyreek doesn't win it, I think Dak should get it. So that's why I feel like Tyreek needs to play these games. Now, the funny thing is, I don't think nobody's playing besides Dak. I don't think nobody else is like, oh, he's MVP worthy, like, oh, he's definitely get it. It'll be astronomical if he doesn't. No one else is like that right now in the NFL. I don't think. Once your boy Mahomes lost Bieniemy, you see the offense, because of course he has Nagy, but you see the offense just go down. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad at that take for Dak if he stays right. You're right. My guy, the intellectual, says, I pray he gets 2,000. Yeah, man, because no one's never done that before. So especially if you break a record, you have to get MVP. That should be a law. If you break some type of record that's never been done before, you should get MVP easily. Danny says that Purdy might be MVP. You know what, Danny? When I think about that, and you saying that Purdy should, you look at the way he's been playing, and 49ers been good, and the one thing that comes to mind when I think about that is let me see. Stop it. Yeah. You get a stop it for that, bro. Don't buy into that narrative. I don't believe they're not getting. Nah, that's not happening. That's not happening. I don't see that. Christian McCaffrey, my bad. You're right, Kyle. Christian McCaffrey should get it. I'm sorry. So if Tyreek doesn't get it, it should be Dak, because you know how they love quarterbacks. If Dak doesn't get it, then I can see Christian McCaffrey getting it. But the fact is, and what I love the most is, it's not quarterback dominated this time. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like Justin Jefferson should have been a candidate in the top 3. Christian McCaffrey last year. So, yeah, I agree with that, Kyle. I do agree with that. But again, I think Tyreek is well on his way if he's able to play. And then will the Detroit Lions, I'm going to say it again. Will the Detroit Lions, I don't know, man. It's kind of looking like that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we've been playing them tough. We should have beat them the first time. We beat them this time. That's because that's my Bears. That's how we are. But anyway, don't let me get excited thinking about that. But either or, I've said it on here before a few times. If Dan Campbell continues to go for these 4th and 6 at his own 35-yard line or at the 50-yard line, you're going to lose these games for this team. He got away with it the first week in Kansas City. He got away with it playing against other teams, but lately he hasn't been getting away with it. You can't do that. You can't do that. I understand you're trying to push this mentality of, hey, we don't care who's in our way. This is our style of football. Bruh, you won't last long in the NFL coaching, because that's not how it goes. You can't do that against these teams, especially in the playoffs. You can't do that. Say, oh, here comes the Bears fan on the Lions. Hey, man, I'm just saying, Kyle. But again, you can't. He's like, I like how he coaches his team as far as getting them ready and that type of mentality. But when you continue to do those crazy things like go for it, that's why teams don't do that, because they can't. That won't work. It's not going to work. And he's hurting that team. The only thing that's going to help him out is the fact that they're in the NFC North. But I would not be surprised. I'm saying it here first. I would not be surprised if the Lions lose all 4 games. Remaining games. Let me look at their schedule. Their remaining schedule right now, the Detroit Lions are, hold on, let me pull it up. They are, so their remaining 4 games are the Broncos. I think they win. The Broncos win. It's in Detroit, but still, they got to play the Vikings. They should win that game, but like I said, I think they might Detroit Lions. They play the Cowboys in Dallas. They're losing that. And then they play the Vikings again. And now Justin Jefferson is back. So I will say it again. Okay, we got breaking news, y'all. The Detroit, Draymond Green is getting suspended indefinitely. Woo. Hold on. Let me read this. Oof. Let's see. Where's Shams? Or is that? Let me make sure that's correct. Or is that? It says that I'm reading through my phone, y'all. So it's saying that is expected to receive a counseling and work with the Warriors and NBA while suspending after striking Nurkic, of course. So it doesn't say how long he has to meet criteria before he returns to play. So yeah, he's suspended indefinitely. So I wonder how long that's gonna be. Chat room, let me know how long y'all think how long it's gonna take. Somewhere, John Morant smiling. I told y'all he's getting treated like that bad niece or nephew that bad nephew that come to your house, and you see him. He could be in a room that he ain't supposed to be. Hey, get out of there! He probably trying to help you out, do something nice, but the fact that he's bad, that's how they're looking at Draymond Green right now. So wow. But wow. Anyway, like I was saying, y'all, I just think the Detroit Lions are going to Detroit Lions. I think they're going to lose the last 4 games of the season. And Ab Stanley says 50 games. Whoa. Maybe. But Aaron, real quick, Aaron and whoever, Ab, wouldn't it be something if the Detroit Lions lose all 4 games and the Bears went out? They would have the same record. Let me stop. All right, I ain't gonna play with y'all. All right, man. Look, we're gonna take a quick break. We gotta bring in family. You know, we got family in the building. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
We are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And real quick, just before Ab Stanley says, I'm scared of Miami doing that right now. As far as losing the last 4 games, I know, right? Especially with the injury to Tyreek. Bears can make the playoffs if they win out. Yep, I'm not going to pay attention to that app. I'm not even trying to get happy or nothing like that right now, so we're not dealing with that. And then Brian Burton says absolutely was Moses. Just give up and write it out and stop talking about Moses. He's been through enough. All right, y'all. So anyway, it is time to bring none other than our family, our cousin, orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta, Dr. Donnie Fowler, Dr. Donnie Daddy Fowler III. What's going on, Doc?
How's it going? Good to see you, Mr. Controversy.
Good, man. It's good to see you, man. First off, real quick, your thoughts on Riley Leonard leaving Duke?
Yeah, I mean, even before he declared for the transfer portal, as soon as Coach Elko left to go to Texas A&M, kind of knew the writing was on the wall that he wasn't going to stay. And not only he, but several other players entered the portal, a lot of graduates. So unfortunately, it's knew it was going to happen. It's kind of one of those, it's tough because there was a lot of hype behind him this year early on until he got hurt, and it was a lot of fun. And now our coach is gone, our quarterback's gone, and we just get to hit the reset button. But I like Manny Diaz coming in. I think he kind of got the short end of the stick in Miami. He turned Penn State into, I think they were the number one defense overall this year. So, you know, I think hopefully if he decides to stay, he can kind of build on that culture, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, first person I thought of when I saw that, I'm like, man, and Notre Dame got them a good quarterback. So
he's good. He's going to be good for that. I think he's better than Sam Hartman, who obviously I think did reasonably well for them this year. So assuming they got weapons around him, I don't remember who, or I don't know Notre Dame as well to know what else they have in offense. But if they have some talent out there, I think they'll be a dangerous team with Riley Leonard.
Well, all right, man, let's get to it, man. You know, we got to talk about injuries. And look, if you all play fantasy football, or it might be your favorite team, like Ab and, you know, whoever, you know, or your favorite player, whatever, but you don't want to miss a segment. So first question we're talking, and of course, this could be about the Lions losing. Well, they don't play the Lions this week, but it could really be about your fantasy. But Justin Jefferson, who was dealing with chest issues last week, says he will play. We saw him go out with that hit in the back, and his chest was hurting. Like, that had to be a big hit. But how serious was it for him to have to go to the hospital? And are you concerned about him playing, and if he gets hurt again, or is it possible that he can get hurt again?
Yeah, well, as a Justin Jefferson fantasy owner, it's been a frustrating year. I will say that. You know, it takes him obviously like 8 weeks plus to come back from the hammy. You've held on to him. If you haven't traded him away this long, playoffs come in, and then, yeah, you get like a quarter and a half. But, I mean, it was a legit hit. They did the right thing. You kind of have to do that. If he was having any issues like breathing, which I'm sure he was to some degree, they did the right thing to make sure that, you know, he didn't have a rib that punctured his lung, or some kind of like kidney laceration or spleen injury that occasionally you'll see some of those intra-abdominal or thoracic injuries with a big hit like that. So they clearly did the right thing by taking him to the hospital, probably did a CAT scan, made sure everything looked okay. So in a way, it's the fact that it's kind of his torso and chest. I'd still say it's better than like a knee or a hamstring or an ankle, because it's not going to affect his mobility. So if everything's cleared, his pain's pretty well controlled, he's already come out and said he's going to play. I think he's going to be out there, and maybe we'll finally get a full game of Justin Jefferson this weekend. So
yeah, thank God I'm in this big money league with him. He's been hurt all this time. I fought my way back in. Now he's healthy. Oh, that's good news to hear. So Tyreek, this is for Ab Stanley, and I have him on my fantasy team as well. I need to beat Aaron Langley with this guy. But Tyreek Hill's ankle has him questionable going into next week. Although he came back and played in the second half, tell he still wasn't the same. What are the chances of him playing next week, knowing they have this run and, hey, let's rest him or not, even though they play the Jets?
Yeah. I like that last comment, even though they're playing the Jets.
Well, I mean it. Well,
yeah.
I mean it because the defense is that.
Yeah. No, I know what you meant. No, so it's funny. I mean, he kind of almost came out and said basically I'll say it in a PC way, that his wife was calling him soft, and that's why he went back out there. But, I agree. Like when you hurt your ankle, whether it's football or basketball, you sprain it, you do have adrenaline going as long as you kind of keep moving and you stay warm. It doesn't stiffen up as much. So you can usually potentially get through like that day, but it's kind of, well, what does it look like the next day? How swollen does it get? How stiff and inflamed is it? And so it certainly sounds like he is dealing with some of that. Hard to say. Obviously, arguably, I don't know if anyone say there's someone technically faster, at least game speed, than Tyreek Hill. So you need him to be healthy. You need him to be ready. Obviously, the Dolphins are going to be in the playoffs, so you don't want to re-aggravate something and then have it linger when the games matter even more. So I think it's iffy. I think you kind of have to follow how he does the next couple of days in practice. I think he wants to be out there. He's a baller. He's not, one that is constantly injured or trying to sit out. So if they give him any leeway, I think he's out there. But again, I think they're going to want to see and make sure that he's probably not having too much swelling and moving like normal Tyreek before they say he can go.
Right. And actually, you know what? I'm good because I have a first round bye in the playoffs, so I'm good. So he can rest. I mean, take the time. I want him to get the record though, but take your time. Let's come back week after next. Also, now Ramondre Stevenson for the New England Patriots, the running back, is questionable with an ankle injury as well and did not practice on today. Do you think they will hold him out, especially due to the fact, even if he's could play, for the fact that they're out of contention?
Yeah. So, I mean, Ramondre also came out, and because initially they just said, well, if it's a high ankle, you only got this much time left, you're out of the playoffs. Why risk further injury if you're going to, expect him to be a part of the franchise going forward? Just sit him. But Ramondre already came out and basically said, if I can play, I want to play. I don't leave my brothers like that kind of thing. So he wants to be out there. If it truly is a high ankle, like they're calling it, I mean, the earliest we've really seen anyone come back is 3 weeks. Now they haven't put him on IR. So that basically means that they're at least keeping it open, that he could be back sooner than 4 weeks or the end of the season. He's missed one game. I would bank on him missing a game this week. You obviously follow what happens next 2 days, but my guess is he will not play this week. I think best case scenario, you could see him back the following week, I guess week 16, and that would have kind of been almost like a 3-week recovery. So I think that's best case scenario. But yeah, I kind of agree with some of the people saying, well, what's left to play for? Protect your health, protect your future. And Zeke obviously looks like he's been well rested. He looked like his 23-year-old self last weekend. So obviously it seems like they can get plenty of production from him in the meantime. So
let me ask you this. What you talk about protect yourself. So let's say if he plays and he hurts himself, could it be catastrophic? Like, could it, or is it one of those things he's going to further? This is going to be painful. I mean, can he injure it anywhere?
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be, I wouldn't call it catastrophic, like career ending, but if he hurts it worse, then there's a chance that he may have to then actually have surgery, like some people have on a high ankle sprain, and do that like tightrope procedure that you heard about Tua, and then the Brock Bowers, the Georgia tight end, and some other kind of high profile guys that we've talked about. And granted, the season would be over anyway, and he'd have 8 months essentially to be ready for for football next year. So I don't think it would mess him up for the following year, but at the same time, it could lead to in a way, an unnecessary surgery and just more rehab and stuff that it would kind of be frustrating if that happened and there was nothing to play for. So again, you kind of have to weigh those out. And again, probably a decision that there's a lot of people involved with. Ramondre, his team, his agent, the trainers, the team doctor, the coaches, they'll all be talking through it. So,
all right. And then last but not least, another player that people are depending on, and hopefully he can play for them, is Isaiah Pacheco, who is still nursing a shoulder injury and is up in the air if he will play or not. What would he have to do to prove that he can play? And what is your feeling on this injury?
Yes, as also an Isaiah Pacheco fantasy football owner, along with Justin Jefferson, this was tough because, you didn't see much, the game where obviously he got injected at the end. Was it Green Bay, right? 2 weeks ago, I think. And obviously his arm worked, well enough to throw a punch. And there's a question, well, is that what really hurt it? It is a shoulder that he had off-season surgery on. My assumption would be he had some labral tearing. So again, they're calling it contusion. And then I read somewhere that he was having difficulty with range of motion and just couldn't raise his arm up overhead. And if you almost like kind of when we were talking about Deshaun Watson having a contusion and couldn't throw or raise your arm. I mean, if your rotator cuff's not working because it's inflamed, then yeah, it's hard to use your arm, hold the ball, kind of do what you need as a running back. So I get that. There was some brief talk about IR, which was a little concerning. Obviously, they did not put him on IR, so you would expect him back probably somewhere in 2 to 3 weeks. So it's either probably going to be this week or next week. He didn't practice today, so you're going to have to follow again and see if he gets any sessions in to know if he's going to play this weekend. I certainly hope he does, for selfishly, but I think I'd say it's probably 50-50 this week. I definitely think he'd probably be back by next week.
All right, Doc, and you all that are listening, I mean, take heed to this. I mean, the playoffs, if you're in the playoffs, hey, this is what you need to hear to get you going. So we appreciate that, Doc. But hey, man, it's time for these picks. And Doc, I got to give you your props. So, Doc, Rue, and myself, and I, we're in this pool, if you want. And right now, it's very tight. I'm just glad the fact that I'm in this, because last year I was horrible. So the records is Doc went 4-0 2 weeks in a row to catch up, right? So right now the records are Rue is 34-22. I am 33-23, and Doc is 33-23. So this is very tight right here. So let's start with the first game. So, Doc, we have Minnesota at Cincinnati. Both teams need this game, but as you just mentioned, Justin Jefferson is back. So, who you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go Cincinnati. I think it's in Cincinnati. They've certainly looked a lot better than the Vikings lately, especially on offense. I think that was one of the worst games I've ever watched in my life, the Vikings-Raiders game that almost ended 0-0 and went to overtime. Now they're making a quarterback change, and so Dobbs is out, Mullins is in, and it's like, well, how in tune is he? He's been out with an injury, so you're bringing in a new quarterback in an offense that's kind of been terrible, and so is that going to jumpstart things, or is that going to actually make things worse? So I think there's a lot of unknowns with Minnesota. The Bengals, they have obviously their backup quarterback in now with Browning, but he has certainly shown, especially the last couple of weeks, that he can get the ball to his playmakers, which they have plenty of, starting with Jamar Chase. Higgins is back healthy. You got now 2 great running backs. So I think Cincinnati is more of a sure thing. So give me the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm with you. You said everything. I didn't know. I missed it last week I had to run or whatever, maybe dozed. I don't know, probably dozed off. But did Dobbs get benched?
I don't. He got benched at the very end, yeah, because Mullins is the one that led him on that final drive to get the field goal to win the game. So he did get benched at the very end of the game.
Okay, so but still, I'm going with Cincinnati. It looks like they're playing well. And man, it'd be quite interesting if somehow Cincinnati get in this playoffs. Like, that'd be interesting. I know and I think Burrow is on IR, right? But is he on IR for the season or he's?
Yeah, he's done for the season.
He can't come back. Okay, all right. So so I'm with you. I got Cincinnati. Next, we have Detroit hosting the Denver Broncos, and Doc, I'm going with Denver. I just don't trust Detroit right now, and Denver is playing very well right now. Their confidence is up high. Russ is not because I don't feel like he has the same offense, but Russ is making Russ plays, scrambling, using his legs more than we've seen him in years. And Cortland Sutton is playing well. The defense is playing very well. And I just think right now Detroit is losing their confidence. And even though it's at home with a Sean Payton, I just feel like Dan Campbell is going to make a dumb call again, or going for it or something like that, and give Denver the ball in their own territory, in Detroit's territory, and that's going to set the game. So I have no faith in Detroit right now. I feel like they're going to Detroit Lions. So I'm going with the Denver Broncos.
So, yeah, you got your picks in before me, and I couldn't pick exactly the same 4 teams. So
you might as well as were we.
So this was like the best contrarian pick I could find that I somewhat believed in. I agree with actually everything you said. I have Cortland Sutton also on my fantasy team, who he only gets like 4 or 5 targets, but there's always like one crazy jump ball that Russ throws to him and he catches. It's kind of unreal. Like I feel like he must have some kind of record for amount of touchdowns on like the least amount of probably targets,
right?
Because it's literally almost every game he has some kind of wild crazy touchdown catch, but he has like 3 or 4 catches and that's it. So so it's kind of funny to watch that, and hopefully it continues. But I mean, Denver is a completely different team than they were in the beginning of the year when they lost 70-20 to Miami and were just kind of literally the laughing stock. And Detroit, like sometimes they've looked like a juggernaut, and recently, it looks like the Monstars stole their talent, and I don't know what Jared Goff is doing out there half the time. But I guess I think they have too much talent on both sides of the ball to continue to play like they have the last couple games. So I'm going to go with Detroit in a bounce back game at home. And again, partially I had to at least pick one game against you. So,
well, I'll say this. The fact that Jared Goff has been playing bad, honestly, is not necessarily it's just against us. It's the Bears defense. You look at every other team he's played, he's been playing. It's just the Bears defense. That's what we do. Anyway, next game we have Baltimore, Jacksonville. Go ahead, Doc. It's on you. Who you going first? Or who you going with?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take Baltimore. They've been generally one of the more consistent teams throughout the year. I feel like you know what you're going to get with Lamar. The Jags have had a good year, certainly. I feel like they faded the last few weeks. Obviously, Lawrence had the high ankle sprain and came back and still actually looked reasonably well, but they lost Christian Kirk. ATN's been banged up, and I don't feel like they've been getting him as many touches or as involved. So I don't think the Jaguars look the same as they did like 4 or 5 weeks ago. So I think it'll be close. I think it'll be within a touchdown, but I think Baltimore wins the game.
See, and I agree. That's why I picked Baltimore, but I'm a little nervous just because it could be one of those games where Jacksonville just sprout up and be like, all right, we're ready to play. And next thing you know, they put 35 on Baltimore. Baltimore's defense is kind of breaking down, with these little injuries. So it's kind of nerve-wracking. But the problem, the offense, but then Jacksonville's defense hasn't been where they've been the first, 8 games. So, I'm going Baltimore as well. And then the game of the week, I so want to change my pick. Everybody picked Buffalo, but to me, I feel like that's why I can just stay in the pocket. So, but I want to pick against Buffalo, but you got Dallas and Buffalo, and I'm going Buffalo. Dallas is hot, but the fact that they're playing in Buffalo and Buffalo is hot. And winning that game against Kansas City is probably the one game that's going to get them going, and get them playing well. They should have blown them out, but it was like the first time in years where Buffalo had a break. Like all of these years, they haven't had that break. They've been a team that suffered we messed up, this happened, and they almost messed up again when quarterback, I can't think of his name, when Allen missed Gabe Davis wide open. I was like, oh, that's going to come back to bite them. But, so we saw what happened. And I just think right now their confidence that are all high. Dallas is also, but I felt like, I don't know, both teams got that win that they needed, but I just felt like Buffalo, that was more of a boost us up type of win. I feel like Buffalo is probably going to go on a run, so I'm going to have Buffalo winning this game.
Yeah, well, and people who watch the show know enough know I hate Dallas, but I try to be a realist. I think Dallas has been a different team away from Jerry World, and they're going on the road up to Buffalo. I haven't checked the weather, but my guess is it's going to be a little colder than it is in Dallas inside the dome. So it's just kind of anyone who's played football knows it's conditions can make a difference when you're playing in the cold. Some guys, if you're, it affects them. It takes them out of the game. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Dallas, but I think it's a big home field advantage for Buffalo, who's used to playing consistently in that weather. I agree with everything you said. I mean, it's a must win for Buffalo, and they've been in so many crazy close games, and they finally did get a break when it's almost always against them. And I mean, they showed that picture with the play with Kelsey and throwing it back to Tony and the touchdown before he saw the flag, and Josh Allen's just like looking up like, are you effing kidding me? Like, what did I do to deserve this? And they finally got one. So I think they got momentum. I think they know they got to win, because I mean, they got winnable. They got 4 games. I think they got 2 winnable games against the Chargers and Patriots, and then they end at Miami, which, depending on what Miami has to play for, you never know. But this is a game they have to have. There's, I think, 6 or 7 teams that are all tied with the same record at 7-6 for 2 playoff spots. So I just think they're going to come out hungry. I think they'll play better in that kind of weather and atmosphere. And I think Dallas is certainly going to give them a game. And if it was in Dallas, I'd probably choose Dallas, but it's not. So I'm going with the Bills.
All right, Doc. I mean, we definitely appreciate you coming on, man. And hey, man, I don't know how I'm proud of you. Just put it like that. By yourself, and baby, I'm proud of you. So
yeah, she's right here on the, I can't really see her on the monitor, but
okay,
yeah.
Okay, good. Right. I'm proud of you, man, because I'll put it like this. The first time I had to stay with I don't know if it was the first time, but I see it. The first time I had to stay with my daughter and my wife left, I was like, oh my freaking God. And then she started crying, and she was a little older. I didn't know what to do, and but it worked out. So yeah, so that first time though was kind of like, I don't know if it's the first time for you, but still, it's like
not the first, but yeah, it's always a little mayhem. Makes you appreciate mom, obviously, and exactly. what they usually do on a probably more regular basis than what dad does. So
I'm gonna have to take this clip and send it to you so you can send it to her. So all right, man, but all right, man, take care, and Be safe, man. We'll talk to you.
All right. Take care, Mr. Controversy.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We're going to take one more quick break, and we will be right
My name is George
back.
Iceman Gervin.
This is Dylan Brooks. What's up? This is Vince Carter. You're listening to.
My name is George Iceman Gervin.
This is Dylan Brooks. What's up? This is Vince Carter. You're listening to 3 Point Conversion. Check it out.
I guess not. I guess that was it.
My name is George Iceman Gervin.
This is Dylan Brooks. What's up? This is Vince Carter. You're listening to 3 Point Conversion. Check it out.
All right. We're back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And okay. Look, y'all. I want to talk about this. And I kind of want to do like, how Facebook and people, because if you listen to the podcast, we do it also, we're live streaming. I kind of want to wait for everybody to come on. I need Ab Stanley to be on here. But either or, I'm going to talk anyway. So the NBA tournament, we know the Lakers won, it happened. And then they just not too long ago celebrated, their tournament win by putting the banner up. And what is it called? It's not the Staples Center anymore. I can't remember the name of their crypto center or something like that. But either or, they put the banner up, right? Everybody wants to laugh at it. Laugh at them. They're tripping. Look at LeBron. LeBron's so thirsty to win something and all that. Shut up. Because if it was your team, you all would be happy as well. This is my take on this because I've been hearing some nonsense and I've been waiting for this moment to speak on it. So a lot of people have been talking about, LeBron, he just so thirsty to win one. He went. All the stuff he's doing, popping champagne and all of that. Michael Jordan wouldn't do that. Michael Jordan putting up memes. Michael Jordan looked like, really? So you all, that's how I know you all are some haters. Like really, and I hate using that word, but y'all hating on LeBron and not haters like, because y'all don't, how people use that word loosely because the fact that it's something that you don't like, so they a hater. No, y'all hating on somebody who did something well. This is my thing. Like Ab said, they're the first team to do it. So, of course, you're going to be excited. And right, Ab, if the Lakers would have lost, it would have been mayhem. Everybody went crazy, talked about that's what you can't even win a tournament title. That don't, all that crap. So, they're the first to do it because it's going to continue to grow and happen. But not only that, for you to say that Michael laughing at y'all, Michael wouldn't do this, you all don't either watch basketball or don't know Michael Jordan. Michael wanted to win everything. Kobe Bryant wanted to win everything. If we're playing in this, we have to now. If it was a choice to say, and I'm pretty sure with LeBron, if it was a choice to say, all right, y'all have to play in this, they would be like, even LeBron might be like, we ain't got to do this. I'm good with it. But they didn't have a choice. You play it. So if you're competitive like LeBron, like a Mike, like Kobe, you trying to win this. It's bragging rights. Right. Kobe and Mike would have played hard as hell in the tournament. They not trying to lose an all-star game. They don't. It's an all-star game. You're playing against the best. So if you're playing against the team and you're trying to win this tournament and it's a winner, they're going to play hard. That's what NBA players do. And honestly, Ab, you tell me if I'm wrong or not. I didn't see any players looked at the tournament was like, man, we don't care about this. No, every team, every player played even harder during this tournament. it was money on the line. It could have been pocket change. You say it's pocket change. It's money. They played harder. They were playing. And not only that, what it did was, okay, Lakers lost against Dallas, but Lakers are playing better. Indiana, they're playing better. It's just what it is, man. So kill that noise. Y'all kill me with that. Oh, it's nobody. It don't matter. No, it does matter. It's the first tournament win. It's going to happen from years to come. All of them was playing hard. Kobe and Mike would have done the same thing. Like, it would have been dope to see this when they were playing, because they play hard every game anyway. And to see them play for this, and it was a chip or a prize money. Oh yeah. Kobe, Jordan, all of them. That would have been awesome. So I just hate when people are saying that's getting on my nerves, man. But let me go back and talk about these Hawks. Yeah, definitely put Indy on the map. I'm with you. The Hawks lost again. They lost to the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets was on a 3-game losing streak. The Hawks came up. They started out. They was up by 11. And then all of a sudden, Denver came back and got up by more than like almost 20 points, I believe, 19-21 or whatever it was. Trae Young got ejected. But then all of a sudden, they battled back. Bogey had a game of his life, the best game ever. Hit 10 threes, right? They came back within, I believe, 3. I believe it was 3 points in the last 2 minutes, but they failed to lose. Last minute, agreed. Yeah, they would have played hard in the pickup game. But Hawks lost. They continue to lose. Some people might think, is this the right coach or whatever? Now, mind you, they're not healthy. Jalen Johnson is out. DeAndre Hunter didn't play. He was out as well. Like I said, Trae got ejected, and they played hard. They battled back. So you continue to see this team play hard, but no wins. What does that mean? It means that they're right there. They're coming along. It should change later on. They're right there. They didn't have their best defensive players playing, but it's coming along. You're going to see it manifest, I think. It's going to manifest. And I believe the next 5 games or so, I think Hawks going to go on the run, win maybe 6 out of 8, 6 out of 7, something like that, jump back in the standings. And so Atlanta Hawks fans, let's be patient. Why aren't we talking about the Orlando Magic right now? Why aren't we talking about the Orlando Magic? Why aren't we? And I understand maybe because the fact that it's still December, maybe, but I don't understand why we're not talking about the Orlando Magic. Right now, the Magic are tied with the second best record in the East. Actually, they have tied for the second best record in the East with the Milwaukee Bucks at 16-7. Now, this is a young team. Very young team. Very, very, very young team. Very young team. But Hawks to trade for Kuzma. Yep, I agree. Agree with you again. But Orlando's not. They're just only going to get better. Remember, I said this. I don't know if you remember, Ab, or whoever else is listening. I said in the beginning of the season, before the season started, I said Orlando Magic will finish in the top 5 in the Eastern Conference. I said that before this. I have it on record. I said it. But the scary thing is they're only going to get better. Not just this season, but years to come. And they're a tight-knit group because they're young and they're cool. You see them talking, laughing, whatever. I seen, a matter of fact, 2 years ago, I remember before Banchero's, I think it was his first game when they came in town. All of them was at the seat. Is it CT? Not CTE. Golly. They came to watch Bronny play. All of them came OTE. It was at OTE. They came to watch Bronny play, and all of them there, all the young guys. So this team is about to be scary, man. Like I said, because they're learning who they are. They're learning their game. Like Banchero hadn't even gotten close to knowing basketball yet. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows basketball, but I mean like knowing basketball, like learning his game. Okay, this is my spot right here. Okay, now I know what to do. This is my I can't think of the word. Basically, this is my counter. I'd say that it's my counter. I just think they're right there. I don't know. Ab says Orlando need to get rid of Fultz for a defensive-minded player. I think Fultz plays decent defense. He's one of the better defensive players, point guards. He's not the best or whatever, but he's one of the better. But I think once he gets back, I think they might even get better. That's the thing. I think they might even get better, but that's a good idea. Maybe trade him. Y'all doing well right now without him. Get somebody who y'all can use. So, but before we go, I want to talk about this. Right now, who is the best player in the NBA right now? And not even stat-wise, but not just stat-wise, but just the eye test. If you look at the eye test, I have 5 players, and it's hard because usually you don't have this. All when we've grown up, the last 20, 30 years, it's either been Mike, it was either Larry or Magic, right? Then you went to Mike. He did it for, as long as he played. Then Shaq. And you maybe could say it was Shaq. Then you could say Duncan, Shaq, or Kobe. You could say those. But then after that, it went to like LeBron. He was the best player. And then Curry. And I'm not talking about the best player this year, but just through a run, like who's the best player? At this point, this is what I'm saying. I think you have 5 legitimate players? Maybe 5. I'm definitely 4. You got 5. Ab, I don't agree with Bron, but you could put, if you want to put Bron, the way Bron is playing, you know what? You might be able to put him. This is not my 5, so let's put him in this. So maybe 7. So I got Joker, Embiid, Giannis, Shea. I'm not mad at Bron. We'll say Bron, Ab. Some might even want to say Tyrese Halliburton. Put him in there. But with those players, who is the best? And Luka. I'm tripping. And Luka. So 8. And Luka. Who is the best player in the NBA right now? Who is? And I'm saying, however you want to look at it, you can look at it, defense involved as well, or no defense, whatever. Who's the best player? Because right now, Luka is, I've always said Luka's top 3 every year. But you know what Giannis does. We know what Giannis does. You can even put Curry in there. You can put Steph, because Steph is still balling. I mean, his team is just not playing well, but Steph is still balling. But that dude, Shea, I'm old school type player. Shea got a game that is it could transfer from here to the 80s, 90s. That dude is so smooth. That dude game is nice. That dude game is nice. But then Embiid right now. Embiid is playing out as I don't think Embiid is getting the credit. Right now, honestly, I think Embiid might be playing the best ball right now in the league. I might no, keep Bron in there. Ab said I might have to take Bron off of Luka. No, keep Bron in there. I mean, I think right now this year, Bron is in that category where you could say you could say that. But Embiid though, with his assists, and he's not getting 12 assists like Joker, but or averaging almost 10 assists, but he's at 6 assists, sometimes 7 or 8 assists, right? Then his defense, but you can't stop him. And of course, Joker, we know what Joker does. Joker's always that. Like we mentioned, LeBron is playing like phenomenal. It's amazing how he's playing, man. And this is the LeBron that I've always wanted to see play. Like all them years, Ab, you know how it was. All them years that, and I see you, Ab, I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna address that. The all them years that I would get on LeBron. He don't do this. Y'all say his IQ was great, which LeBron's one of the smartest players in the NBA history. I see it. But I used to get on him because I'm like, how can you be one of the smartest players and you got somebody like a Jason Terry on you and you're not posting them up? I didn't get that. But LeBron to do it now. LeBron is taking it to the hole. LeBron is, hey, y'all can't stop me. Let me go to the hole. I just love the way he's playing. Like I mentioned, Luka, I don't think there's no player in the NBA who could stop Luka Doncic. No one. And honestly, if you're talking about these best players, no one can stop Embiid. No one can stop Joker. No one can stop Bron right now. No one can stop SGA. And like you said, SGA got T-Mac vibes. T-Mac is just more explosive, of course. But yeah, man. And T-Mac could do it everywhere, but I feel you. You can't stop SGA. No one can stop Curry. Even Halliburton. You're not able to stop him. And I'll say this in closing with LeBron. This is my thing on LeBron. The NBA messed up, or the players messed up, because you had a chance to take LeBron out the league. And what I mean by taking him out the league was LeBron got to a point that no one was fearing him. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, players stopped fearing him. You know, before LeBron had this mistake where, oh, it's LeBron. But then after a while, like the last 4 years or 4 years ago, you weren't scared of him. You saw players not being scared of him. To me, that was the time to kick him out the league. All right, LeBron, they didn't do that. And now LeBron has gotten that energy. And now he's at that point where he can't be stopped. You're not stopping me. So, but it's tough. Like I said, I say Embiid right now, but it's tough, man. With all these players, man, it's just, that's what makes the NBA so good. You have these players that you don't know who's the best, not just because no one's not just that great. No, these are great players. Halliburton is coming, like you said. But all of these players, man, Bron, Luka, Giannis, and I ain't mentioned Giannis. You know what Giannis is. But Bron, Luka, Giannis, Embiid, Joker, Shea, and then you got Curry, and then you got this kid Halliburton coming, man. So like I said, it's going to be crazy. And if like Ab is saying, I can't put Tatum up there, man. I mean, he's up there, but Tatum could be the best player, but the way Tatum been playing in the playoffs, man, and the big game, he's killing me. But I can see that. You're right. He's up there, but if AD played motivated all the time, I agree, he would definitely be unstoppable. I've been saying that for years, so I definitely agree, man. But hey, that's my show. It was fun. This is the first time I've done a show by myself in a long time. And it was fun. It was fun doing this. I enjoyed it. I appreciate everyone supporting. I appreciate you sharing and all of that. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. So look, if you, I know y'all hit the stop it button, and know something's going on because it's not letting me play my music, y'all. They're playing stop it, so whatever. So I can't say my usual saying, but hey, it is time to let you go, man. I want to first thank God for this platform, for giving me this platform to do what I do, say what I say, make you all upset, mad, want to give me the stop it button. I definitely appreciate it. I want to thank my guests. I want to thank, of course, Dr. Fowler for coming on. Appreciate you, man. You know you family. We appreciate you for coming on. I want to thank everyone who listened and watched the show live and who's going to watch listening to it as a podcast. I appreciate you. Guys like Ab. I appreciate Mike. I appreciate who else is in here? Danny Thompson. I appreciate Kyle, Aaron Langley, and everyone else. People who didn't say nothing. Dennis, the intellectual. I appreciate you. Everybody, I appreciate y'all. My guy, who was in here? If I missed you, I'm sorry, but like I said, I appreciate you all. But hey, I want to thank my lovely wife, my beautiful children, my nieces, nephews, uncles, cousins, play cousins, sisters, brothers. I think I said nieces and nephews, my grandparents, all of you all. Hey, shout out to the 3-point conversion crew. Shout out to y'all. Hey, man, I appreciate you all. Love on family. Let family know that you love them. Love them while they can still feel it. Love them while they're still alive. Until then, next week. Oh, make sure you watch football. You watching NBA basketball. You keeping up with sports. And we missed the Celebration Bowl. I forgot, but I forgot about it. But hey, I'm covering the Classic this weekend. So watch college football, college sports, NFL, NBA. But until then, next week, same time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. When you miss me, I'm out. Peace.